Hi, welcome to Do or Die. Today I'll be speaking to Samantha Cone. Samantha was introduced to me by her husband, Elliot. He was part of our WhatsApp running group. Conscious of the fact that none of the previous interviews involved a female, I was very keen to speak to Samantha. An added bonus is the fact that she is also a coached athlete, and so getting insights into her training from a scientific standpoint. In our initial conversation, we touched on the theme of well-being, mental health and running, and especially in these times of uncertainty, it's good to see what running has done with regards to people coping with the challenges that they face in these times. Speaking of challenges, when filming the interview, I was faced with a few. So you don't actually see me at all in this interview with regards to any screen time. However, you still do have the pleasure of my voice. Anyway, here's the interview. So how and why did you get into running?
My cousin is and she wanted to raise money to buy the parents' beds when they were visiting their sick children, and had decided to try and get as many people together to run a Tough Mudder. I had been that person that went to the gym occasionally, did a few exercises, thought I was mega fit and left. So doing something like a Tough Mudder was so far away from what I was used to. But I signed up and started. It's about 13 miles of Tough Mudder with obstacles in between. Discovered that I was able to run 5k pretty easy. Enjoyed every moment of all the boot camps, and found this group of guys who had started to do the training for a marathon. Finished that in 4:21, and that was it. I was hooked. Shortly after that, I met my now husband, and we started running together, and he was training for London. We're both incredibly competitive. Elliot will choose a race, then I'll choose a race, then Elliot will choose a race. So we split them up fairly.
You opted to get a coach. What does the process involve, and if there's any benefits, what have you gained from it?
I started using a coach because I wanted to do a half Ironman, and I didn't know how to do that. I actually couldn't swim, so I needed a coach, and so John Brown helped me and got me through that half iron, and then I needed a coach ever since then, because I found having someone to answer to was incredibly important. And I think unless you're incredibly disciplined, you need someone to give you a focus.
What does the coach do, and how do you sort of communicate and interact with each other?
So we use something called VDOT. So all my training is loaded up onto VDOT, and then from there I'm able to move the training around. My running seems to have changed very much from pace-based to heart rate-based.
What did the lactate test involve?
So I had to run to Chalkwell Park, which is about 3 miles from me. And then he pricked my finger, squeezed out a bit of blood, and tested where my lactate was in my blood. Anything under 1.5 is good for an easy run. Somewhere between 8:15 and 8:30 for my very easy recovery runs, and that worked out about 1:38 for my heart rate. I then had to run around a lap twice, which worked out about 1,300 metres. At 7:30 pace. Do that twice, took some more blood, carried on going down to 6:30 pace with 15 seconds interval downs, and blood each time taken. 7:15 pace was only 2.1, I think it was, so it's still very low. Sevens shot up to 5. That told him that there was actually, I could maintain a marathon if I'd done the training, at 7:15s. He also tells him where he can how hard he can push me on the hard sessions, and I hate the hard short sessions.
Having someone there, not only the accountability, but the amount of information that you'll be given gives you much more benefit than just a training plan downloaded from the website.
Exactly, and having that person to feed back to you as well. So one of the things I think when I say I tend to do, I'm pretty sure every runner tends to do, is push that little bit too hard on a session. Your training plan says do 6:45s, we'll go out there and try and do 6:30s and push that a little bit too hard. So it will be 2 to 3 quality sessions. One of those quality sessions will be my long run, but it won't just be a long run. So starting much slower than I will go, but finishing much quicker and pushing it those last few miles. It includes a lot more long, easy runs in between. So my mileage on my week's probably a lot higher.
Your long run being one of your quality sessions. So what is the other quality session? What would that comprise of?
This week I've got 10 times 3 minutes. I think I've got a 10k hills, so hill repeats at a set pace, 3 minutes at a pace, and then 3 or 1 minute recoveries, but they're not really recovery paces, they're like 7-10. Going up in pace, then coming back down, then going up and coming back down, and that will last for probably 45 minutes, plus my warm up and cool down. So my quality sessions will be at least an hour, but very focused in the middle with your warm up and cool down. I'm learning to like them.
Discuss your experience of suffering from depression, anxiety, how this came about, what you did to overcome it, and how important running has become to you.
Me and my husband have a little girl through adoption who's amazing, but through the troubles of trying to fall pregnant on our own prior to adoption, I wasn't able to run at all, and I didn't realise how important running was until I wasn't able to run and not allowed to run, and I found that incredibly difficult. When my little girl came home, I think I had a bit of post-adoption depression, which sounds very strange, but it's a thing, and I found myself really sad, which is crazy because I had this amazing little girl. That's all I've ever wanted. I had my family, I had 2 little girls at home, and it was amazing, but I felt really sad. I felt really strange. I needed that run, and I would come back and I would feel amazing. It sounds so simple, but it meant so much. And those runs, I have to say, are some of the most important. They were only 5 miles. They weren't a crazy distance, but sometimes you just need to get out the front door.